Some of the earliest villages that archaeologists have discovered are along the seacoast. This one's of interest. It's called Skara Brae. It's a village. It's preserved because they would build their houses, then they would bury them. So they lived underground. And because their houses were already buried when they lived in them, they were very well preserved because they were already buried. So when they excavated Skara Brae, I believe this is in the islands off the coast of Scotland, then they found some of these earliest settlements. They've taken the roofs off so you can see the interior space. But when people were living here, it was like they were living like gophers. You know, it was all underground passageways and so on. They didn't have these skylights. That's just been added to protect it by the archaeologists. But you can see very small rooms. It's a very cold climate, so having everything buried helped maintain the warmth inside the house. So some of the earliest villages in Europe were actually underground, buried. It's interesting that in some of the early civilizations, the tombs were designed the same way. There were houses that were buried, Tholos-type tombs. I don't know if that's connected anyway. It's interesting if you've read any of Tolkien's works, The Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, and The Hobbit. Tolkien is drawing from a lot of these early civilizations. Is there a group of people that lived underground in houses? Yeah, the hobbits. So I've often wondered if he got his idea of the Hobbit from this Skara Brae, because they are underhill, so to speak. Okay, this is one of the houses, fairly spacious, got a nice central hearth, few bedrooms. I think it's a 3-bedroom. Nice entryway, foyer, some shelves there for your idols. Yeah, here's a shelf for your main idol. These are beds. So they would fill this with straw, make it nice and comfy. And this is the place for the hearth. You can see in some of these images there's a hole in the top that would allow smoke and ventilation. And so the hearth is right underneath the skylight. Later in the Mediterranean home, you'll see the same design where there's a central open area like a skylight and then rooms around the perimeter. I guess so. Of course, you know, you think that will be a problem, but that's because we have running water, you see. So if you don't have running water and you have rainwater coming into your house, is that a bad thing or a good thing? You see, that's a good thing if you don't have running water, because you just put a big vessel there and you don't have to go get water. It comes to you through this hole in your house. So, you know, you might see the hole in the roof and think, wow, that would be a big problem. No, that's actually a solution to the problem. That allows rainwater into your house. The Roman houses were like that. They had a palluvium, which was a big pond they put right below the skylights inside your house. It gathered fresh water every time it rained. Their roofs even faced inward. So whenever it would rain, the roof would actually funnel water into the house rather than outside. So it's just a radically different view on the world because of indoor plumbing, I guess.